In this video, we're going to talk about how to solo over Herbie Hancock's Cantaloupe Island. Definitely a popular song to play. Straight eighth notes, great groove. And I'm going to post the backing track below so you can actually practice along with it. And I'm also going to post the sheet music. There is essentially just 3 chords to this. So it's very modal, but there are some tricks that you can use to get the best solo out of it possible. And so we're going to talk about some scales and the left-hand voicings and some patterns that you can use to make yourself sound great. By the time you get done this video, you'll have a pretty clear idea on how to approach soloing over Cantaloupe Island. So I'm going to post a link to the recording up here in the corner. Go check out the recording that I made of it. I'm not going to play it in this video. It's going to take up a little bit more time, and also YouTube kind of flags it for copyright infringement. So I'm going to post it up there. You can go check it out in that other video. But let's dive into it now, because I think just from a soloing perspective, you know that it's straight 8 feel. And you need to kind of figure out what you're going to do over it. So the first thing we're going to take a look at is the form. And that's always a good place to start when you're thinking about soloing, because you need to know where you are in the tune in order to sound great. If you're playing wrong chords and wrong scales over specific chords, then that's not going to make yourself sound great. So keep in mind that it is a 24-bar tune. A would be just F minor 7, B section, D flat 7, and then to D minor 11th, and then back to F minor 7. So there's really only 3 chords that you need to learn how to solo. So let's start with the F minor 7. The first thing that I think about when I think about this tune, got these trills and sort of riffs like in blues. So blues is the first thing I think of when I think of this tune. And even if you just played an F minor blues scale, you'd do well. So let's just write that out. So you've got F, A flat. We should probably write the key signature up here. That might be a good idea. So it's the key of E flat. So F, A flat, B natural, C, E flat, and F. So that's our blues scale. And definitely, if you just played that, so you can see how it kind of lends itself to the type of sound you're looking for from Cantaloupe Island. In the left hand, obviously when you're soloing, the bass player is kind of covering that bass line. So what you might want to do is plunk down some fifths in the left hand, like that, sustain that over, and then just play fourths. So maybe F, B flat, and E flat. That's a great sound. And then you can move up to A flat, and then D flat, and G flat. This is D flat. So, and then you can make your way all the way up to B flat, E flat, and A flat, all the way up here. Okay, so. Okay, mess around with that a little bit. I think that is a great sound, especially for a modal tune like this. So you can mix those kind of modes with the blues scale as well. I think that would be, just doing the blues scale and those chords in the left hand actually sounds pretty cool. The other thing you might want to consider in the right hand is a bebop scale. So you've got F, G, A flat, A natural, B flat, C, D, E flat, and all the way up to F. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we can obviously move that note over to the next one. So okay, so that's a great sound as well. So you've got the blues scale here, and then you've got the bebop scale here. And then if you're thinking about maybe other things that you can do that are fairly simple, you might want to tackle the pentatonic scale, which also falls underneath the fingers pretty well. Let's just throw a treble clef here, something like that, whatever. Kind of looks like a bass clef though, doesn't it? There we go, treble clef, close enough. All right, let's see, pentatonic scale. So you've got 1, flat 3, 4. So all those notes are still in the blues scale, but it's the pentatonic scale. So you can do patterns like this. I don't actually use the pentatonic scale much myself, but it definitely is fairly simple to do, and there's only 5 notes. So you've got blues scale, bebop scale, pentatonic scale. The only other thing that I would suggest is that you think about maybe some chordal patterns. Okay, so things that sound a little bit more modern. All right, let's go and take a look at the D flat next. So you've got D flat 7. So let's see, left hand voicings for D flat 7. Keep in mind that we are also still in the key of E flat, so I don't have to write out too many accidentals. So let's see, a voicing that I often use for D flat would be F, B flat, B natural, or C flat would be easier to write, I think. C flat and then E flat here. Kind of a neat voicing. Now the interesting thing about this is you can use the same scales and patterns that you did over the F minor chord, like blues. The only other thing that I would really think about in terms of the D flat 7 chord is that you're kind of making a big deal out of the third of the chord. And also if you took the tritone substitution, the third would be a B natural as well. So think about those 2 notes. So yeah, I mean, D flat 7, a little bit harder, but again, you can still rely on the blues scale for F blues scale, and also the F bebop scale, and also the F pentatonic scale. Okay, so that's pentatonic. This is that's the bebop scale, and then obviously the blues scale. Okay, then when it goes to the D minor chord, take everything that you just did from the F minor chord and transpose it to D minor. So the blues scale would be like this, dot, dot. That's the blues scale over D minor. So when it goes, make a big deal out of that flat 5. And then you can also use force in the left hand as well. So plunking down a, go here, D, G, and C. And then just play the scale in force. It's a little easier because it's all white notes like that. So. And then when you start to put it all together, now, obviously, you're going to have the bass player doing that in the backing track that I'm going to give you. So. So those are basically the 3 chords for Cantaloupe Island. I hope you enjoyed that. Let me know if you have any questions, you want to dive deeper into some of the things we're talking about. Definitely we can take it a lot further, but those are some great ideas to get going with your soloing, and it is definitely a great tune to play. People love it. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and also could use a few more subscribers. So if you want to subscribe to the channel, we're making like 5 videos a week right now, so that's a good amount of videos and a lot to learn. So thanks for your time. If you have any questions or comments, just post them below and I'll be sure to get back to you. Thanks for your time.